What you're all about to hear are the two talks that came in at second place over the last weekend of the TU retreat. So put your hands together for Matthew Stanley and Jesse Levine, the first of whom will be talking about rewilding the professions, and the second of whom will be talking about the fear of job loss. If you want to hear all of the talks that were given on that hill on that fateful night, well, then you'll have to become a TU subscriber. Then you'll be able to access my seminar playlist and find the entirety of this video there as a part of my seminar. So yeah, but yeah, if you don't want to or have the time, but you are interested in some of the best talks that were given that night, here you go. These are the two that came in second place. Stay tuned for the one that came in first place, coming soon.
All right. Now, we're about to kind of switch gears here. I'm really excited for our next speaker. He was he organized the last retreat that I went to. Justin Murphy is another professor who left academia and is doing his own thing on the internet. He helps people write books. He does all kind of weird stuff with Urbit. He's wrote a book called Based Deleuze. And Justin's cool, but there's a lot of really cool people in his community that I've met outside of his community, just like people touched by him. It's because he organized something and they met together. I met like Tyler Murphy, Daniel Garner, and now Matthew Stanley. So I've over time met people who at some point did something with other life. And I'm like, that's really cool. So he invited us to collaborate, and I got to speak at this event and spend some quality time with Justin and the crew. And that's where I met Mosey. That's where I met Nick. And so I love having you guys out here. I love this kind of crossover, this kind of collaboration when it's possible. It's really cool. But what Matthew's going to be talking about is something that I think will be close to my mom's heart after what happened at the DMV pretty recently. My mom does not have time in the middle of the farm season to go renew her driver's license at the DMV. And she also kept forgetting that she needed to do that. So she kept driving without like her renewed license. And we had to go to the DMV, and then one thing after another. And even though we were out there taking time off from the farm, 2 people missing from the farm for basically a day. And we weren't able to get what we needed from the DMV. It was just Kafka-esque, as they say. Well, I told Matthew about that, because I think it relates to what he'll be talking about. He wants to talk about rewilding the professions. Please put your hands together for Matthew Stanley.
Thank you, everyone. Very happy to be here. Thank you to the McKerrachers for all their hospitality and for the beautiful thing that they're building here that we can all participate in. All right, keep it 5 to 7 minutes. I sit in a lot of boring meetings, and I have a fake email job. Most of my career has been in a fake email job. Call it white collar, mostly being in meetings, taking requests, shuffling emails around, meeting with people, following up with those people. And people like me are paid more than workers. The people who actually do the work. The people who actually go out and interface with reality, while I simply move around the information about what they're doing. Now, I think that's a problem. I'm critical of professionals, even though I am one. Professionals, managers, white-collar folks, the college-educated, all of these types who they've played the school game, and society has given them more and more stickers. And so now we've got the big sticker that lets you make just a little bit more than you need, maybe. And I was sitting in a boring meeting when I realized that there's a slogan that perhaps captures something of what I want to do, which is rewilding the professions. Rewilding the professionals, but I'm going with professions right now. And This is relevant to people who are not professionals, to those who are blue collar, to those who are doing the real work that us with our email jobs are chattering about. Because 99% of the people in the government are not directly appointed by you. You don't get a say in who they are. And they get a lot of say in your life, though. They get to decide how policies are implemented. They get to decide how the money gets used, and they get to decide whether your document at the DMV is acceptable or not. These are the professionals. And I think that they need to be rewilded because a culture has become predominant amongst the professionals, a culture defined by safety, consensus, and control. Now, professionals are very focused on what is safe and secure. They want to reduce risk as much as they can. They pay attention to the risk factors. And if they can control and reduce those risk factors, well, then they can make everyone safer. Isn't that wonderful? How could you possibly oppose that? You're literally killing people if you oppose that. So safety. Safety understood as the reduction of risk. Importantly, a little substitution there. But maybe safety is not the most important thing in the world. Let's put a pin in that. Consensus. The professionals are ruled by consensus. They get together and we talk. We talk about best practices. We talk about what's working for you. We get together in our professional groups and we produce guidelines, the best practices. And we go, we're all going to do this because these are the best practices that we've all determined. If you start to question the best practices, you are breaking from the consensus. And in fact, you may even be undermining and calling into question the very discipline or the profession. Everyone who is a professional is very afraid of breaking the consensus. Consensus controls a lot. Finally, we have control. Professionals are blind to their own role in society. Professionals have a personal belief about who they are, which is that they are selfless public servants who have given up everything to serve the public on a daily basis. That they are looking out for the best interest of everyone, and how dare you get in the way. This belief about themselves makes them very useful for those in power who would like to have more control over your life. Because the more control you have over your life, the more you can screw it up. The more control they have over your life, the more they can reduce your risk factors. Right now, the California Office of Emergency Services, I implement software for emergency management teams, and I work with the Cal OES, is considering a proposal to track vehicles during an evacuation of an area. Now, why would they do that? Reduce risk. Model the situation, understand why people leave, when they leave, how we can have the optimal outflow of vehicles, and when do people return? When is it safe to return? These are the things professionals think about. How can we get information about the real world, model it to understand it, and how can we better intervene in that world? But the process of getting information and then acting on that information involves control. You cannot have information about something that you do not control. To get information about something, you have to freeze it in time and make a picture of it. It has to stand still. You've got to put a pin in the butterfly. Is that the end?
1 minute.
I get 1 minute. Oh, sweet. You put a pin in the butterfly, and that's the only way you can get information about the butterfly. Ultimately, I see professionals as useful idiots who create new vectors for control and tyranny in our society. What makes it so difficult for professionals to realize this is that they believe that they are serving your good, and that you are standing in the way of your own good. And I think all of us know that at times we do stand in the way of our own good. However, a culture of safety, consensus, and control, this culture which reigns amongst the professionals, is interested in you. And I think we need to rewild the professionals. They have spent too much time in school. They have taken too many tests. They've received too many stickers. We need to get back in touch with reality. And I think that there are some different virtues that we can cultivate. Thank you.
That was awesome. What was that, Suzanne? You want to get a bunch of what?
I want to hear a bunch of guys go, woo!
Come on, guys. All the guys go woo. That's right. Hell yeah. That's right. So my recording device here is a phone, and I don't have a USB-C charger, and it's gonna die if I don't get it. Someone's got me. What did you throw at me? We got people in the audience throwing things already. We came all the way out to the woods so we could have our freedom of speech, and I've already got people throwing things at me. All right, thank you. That'll do the trick. It just means I'll kind of hide behind the podium with a timer. I'll be like throwing things at you, like I'll reach out, I'll poke you. All right. This is the last day of this thing. Isn't that kind of crazy? It's already almost over. I get up at 3:50 a.m. so I can take Alex Sappington to the airport. Make sure to give him a hug before I do. Not at 3:50. Yeah, Suzanne will be here at 3:50, she said. Good. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's good. I realized the whole of my this won't charge because the microphone that plugs into it is a USB-C thing, so that blocks the... you see what I'm saying? So we might have to figure something out. But I'm really getting a lot out of this. I really appreciate you guys. I hope everyone else is. Yeah? Everyone's feeling it? All right, well, we're halfway through already. Isn't that cool? Like I said, lightning talks. So they're going to be really fast. In fact, they're going to get faster and faster. This next one is going to be 2 minutes long. No, I'm just kidding. as my phone dies, they get shorter and shorter. Hi, I'm Jesse. Bye. That'll be what it is. But yeah, no, Jesse's going to come up here and he's going to talk about jobs. It's like the one thing we all have in common. Jobs. We've all had to work jobs, right? Well, he's going to be talking about the fear of losing your job and how that controls our lives. Put your hands together for Jesse.
Thank you. Okay, show of hands. Who here has ever been afraid of losing your job at some point? Yeah, me too. Actually, very recently had a little scare with it. Yeah, fear of losing your job. I actually find this very confusing. Alex was talking about things that confuse you. I find this confusing. I actually find it kind of absurd that this is a thing that we should have to worry about. I feel it doesn't make any sense. I think we're used to it, but I still think it's absurd. I think it's been normalized, but I want to try to get you in the mindset that I'm in about why it doesn't make any damn sense. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, it's been normalized. I think we talk about this all the time. It's like in our discourse, our culture. But I have a very distinct memory of when I was a kid, and I still had a fresh, clean, pure mind that could see through and could see this with clear eyes. I remember very distinctly in health class in elementary school, 1990-something, the DARE program, we all know, or most of us know the DARE program, come and talk about why drugs are bad and stuff. The guy comes in, he's talking about cigarettes, and he was going into the history a little bit, and he was like, yeah, so in the 80s, we started to realize how bad cigarettes are, and all the cancer, but there was this problem. Like, what are we going to do about it? Because we can't just shut down the industry. All these people are going to lose their jobs. Like, thousands of people are going to lose their jobs. And I remember being I was like, huh? It's just like, here's this thing that apparently is going to kill me. It's going to kill us all. We need to get rid of it. It's a scourge on our society. But we can't, or we couldn't, until they figured out what to do or whatever. Ads. And this is your long on cigarettes. But yeah, it was presented as this terrible, like, oh my God, this is crazy puzzle. And I remember being so confused about that because I was just like, aren't jobs bad? Like, again, the clean mind of a child. You can see, jobs are bad. Jobs are bad. We don't want jobs. The whole point of jobs is it's something we have to do. And the sooner they go away, the more we can get to things we actually like to do, things that matter, other types of work that really matters. That's like what TU is trying to cultivate is like, building this sick podium, this Amish core podium, like making real things, making cool things, studying philosophy and theory with fellow travelers. We want more time for that. And a job is something that, as a kid I came to. Even though jobs suck, I was like, I rationalized it to myself the way I think probably all of us do. Is like, fine, when I grow up, we all have to chip in. We have to eat. There's work that needs to be done in society to like get us all the things we need. So I accept, okay, we have to do some work. But again, shouldn't the less we have to do that, the better. So why is it that we have, as soon as something becomes a job, like producing cigarettes, and no shade, by the way, disclaimer, I love a good cigarette from now on, or now and again. From now on, yeah. This is my last day not smoking cigarettes. You all hold me accountable. But yeah, when like it didn't make any sense, and I think you know what I mean. Like why can't we get rid of this thing just because of the jobs? It should be good. And also like jobs, it's treating it like a scarce resource, right? It's like, oh, there aren't, as if jobs are something like a piece of land or water or a car or whatever, just something that there's not enough jobs to go around. We have to be worried about other people taking our jobs. Like, everyone knows that, people remember that South Park took our gerbs. We're scared people are going to take our gerbs. Why can't there just be, if there's work to be done, then we'll all do it. If there's not, then great. Or like, this comes up in automation, right? We see this again and again with automation. Now it's AI. AI is going to take our jobs. Even our fake email jobs now are in danger. But again, it should be a good thing. And I'm just like, why is that? And I think it comes down to ownership, right? We don't own the companies that hire us generally. I mean, some of us have small businesses, and that's cool. I want, a world with more of that. So does Ginger. And, but yeah, so I feel like if we could transfer ownership, the thing is like the way we're not set up to benefit from new technology, which would allow us to reduce jobs, or we're not set up to realize something like cigarettes or anything else is bad and we don't want that industry anymore. Great, that should be a good thing. People have more time to do actually important things or actually meaningful things with their lives. So like an example of something that I find inspiring that I think can help us overcome this contradiction is like this thing Mondragon in Spain. This is a network of cooperatively owned businesses in like the Basque region of Spain. There's a bunch of factories, and they're run by the workers in the factory, and they're owned by the workers in the factory. And these are like, it's big too. They do like billions of dollars every year in revenue. They make real stuff like refrigerators, car parts, stuff that to us, especially in America, we don't have any manufacturing anymore. It's like this just falls from the sky. It's like they're actually building this stuff. But yeah, the important thing is they own it. So if someone invents a labor-saving device to make the refrigerators, and half the time, they're in a position to just say, hey, why don't we work fewer hours instead of firing half of ourselves? Of course, they would never do that because they don't have the incentive to do that, and they won't do it to themselves. So I would love to see more cooperatively owned businesses. I would love to see I would love something like, politically, a federal jobs guarantee. I don't know if that'll happen, but even that's actually, to me, less inspiring than something like a Mondragon. A type of institution that I wish this existed, and I feel like maybe it could exist. Maybe people here can help build this sort of thing, is like a DIY jobs guarantee. Like, why doesn't something exist that's like, if you want to work, come work. If you're willing to get your hands dirty, do some farm labor, do some administrative stuff, whatever it is that needs to be done, you should be able to work. It shouldn't be, a job is not a scarce resource. By doing the work, you're creating enough value to pay for your food and whatever it is that needs to keep you going. So, yeah, I feel like it feels to me possible. I don't fully understand the contradiction standing in the way of preventing something like making it possible for ourselves to, anybody who's willing to contribute can contribute to creating some common value that can then support ourselves. And I have faith that it's not just possible to produce enough to keep ourselves alive or whatever. It's enough. We're capable of producing that and a surplus that we could control, and then, have something left over to support more time for, again, the work that really matters, cultivating our talents in, true labors of love like we're doing here at TU. So, thank you.
If you're interested in getting involved at Theory Underground, there's a bunch of really exciting course content in the works currently. We've got a bunch of introductory lectures in the works where you've got basically the point of entry into the world of theory for anybody who really wants to think with these thinkers, concepts, and really get a basis, not just in the world of, some niche part of the theory scene, but a more broad approach in philosophy and history and the humanities and liberal arts. Then this is the place for you. If you think, I don't have time to spend the rest of my life studying Hegel or Deleuze or Žižek or Land, but I want to still have a bunch of concepts and I really want to start thinking about these things deeper, and I really want to get a basis so that I know where to eventually invest my time and energy if it gets freed up at some point, right? Well, then Theory Underground's for you. If you're interested in learning how to write or speak better, then Theory Underground is for you. If you want to be a part of this, and if you want to potentially develop yourself as a thinker, as a speaker, as something that's neither an influencer nor a professor, right? Then there's some new possibility in development. And I can't really tell you too much about it, but it's a part of what I've been ultimately working on for the last 15 years. And it's now culminating in this, something that paves the way for you to do philosophy and theory and get a basis in the broader humanities and liberal arts without becoming a professor, without becoming an influencer, while being useful to those around you and helping make the world a better place. If that sounds interesting to you, I can't tell you too much more about it just yet. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome.